What are you doing? Although the mobile app is, bless you. But hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Numa and he will be your guide today. Hi guys, this is actually my first video. It's so hard to do a series of tutorials of how I shoot and edit. I just said that. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I get tons and tons of messages about how I edit my pictures and how I shoot my pictures. So I decided to do a tutorial series. This is the first part. This is how I edit my pictures and how I take flat lies. This is actually the first ever real sort of YouTube video I did. I did a couple of travel vlogs and a video when we get this little cutie, but not a video where I talk through the camera. So I apologize if I come off a bit weird, but it's the first time, and I really hope you enjoy the video, and keep in mind that everyone's editing style is different, and that's okay. Actually, it's better if you're different than if you do the same thing as everyone does. I edit my pictures in Lightroom on my computer. You can also use the Lightroom app, that is for free, but I just don't like to use it that much. I prefer using it on the computer, also because the picture is bigger and you have more things you can do. And I always re-edit my pictures with VSCO Cam on my iPhone, just because I feel like the colors are different on your computer than they are on your phone, so that's why I do it. This is how I shoot flat lays. I use like a solid background, as simple as you can get it. And then I just put my props there. I have this book which says 2018, then this really, well, it looks a lot lighter now in the light, but this golden napkin, this confetti cannon, and this one was sponsored, so I have the product that I'm placing. And then I just assemble it and take a lot of pictures of it, and then I choose the best from that. So once I decided on the perfect picture to use, I'll import it to Lightroom, and then the first thing I do is I turn up the temperature, just because I shoot in RAW mode and that leaves the pictures really blue and cold. And if you've seen my Instagram feed, you know that that's just not what I want, so I turn it up a lot, and it will get really orangey and warm. The next thing I do is I edit the exposure. It depends on every picture, on the light. This one was shot in natural light, but not in front of windows, so I'm just gonna turn it up. No, I'm just gonna leave it like this. And then the contrast, I don't like too much contrast or too little contrast. I know everyone's different, and a lot of people on Instagram use a lot of contrast. I just don't like it so much, so I just leave it at +5. And then I do the highlights. You can see how much they change, and I don't like, this is way too overexposed, so I turn it down and just a little bit. And then the shadows, I just don't think this picture needs so much editing in this compartment, so I just do the black and whites a little bit. As you can see on the borders, I think that's one thing you need to edit, so I always look which way it looks best, and then I decide. So you can see the contrast, so I just do it like a tiny bit, just to bring out the lights on the bottles. And then the same with the blacks. I just don't like to do it too black, but also I think it's just the lights, and this is like your lightest lights, and the bottom one is your darkest blacks. So I'll put the whites a little bit more, just because you can see on the bottles that it looks better. And since this is a sponsored ad, I have to put the focus on the bottles and make them look best. And yeah, just with the book I like to have a little contrast, so I don't make it too dark, just because I think it looks better if you can see the difference. And then what I really like in Lightroom, which I've not seen in any other app or program, is that you can change the colors So for example, this red, I have a lot of red in this picture, as you can see, and I just like to see, like, you can turn it really into a like purple or like a yellowish, so I'm just gonna turn it up a little bit to pop the colors a little bit more. And what I always do is I always put a little bit of the orange in it, just because it's my kind of style to have it more warm. With this tool you can actually see how the program sees the colors, because sometimes you think it's one color and the program thinks it's a completely different one, so that's really helpful. And yes, I don't have too much color in this picture, so it's just red, orange and yellow and a little bit of magenta, so yeah, just editing this a little bit, just not too much, just because I don't want it to look really fake. And this is just for the color of the bottle in the middle. Color you want, you can do the saturation of each color individually, as you can see with the red. And I really want to have the red really standing out, so I'm just gonna turn it up. And the orange just also, but not too much, just like, yes. And the yellow, just because I feel like the program sees the gold as a mix of orange and yellow. And well, I don't have blue or green, so I'm just gonna turn the magenta a little bit up, as you can see here. And then you have luminance, which I think is also really great. It makes the colors stand out a little more. It gives them, yeah, it feels like there's light shining on the areas. So as you can see here, it creates really like more depth or like more shadows, which I really like. And the same with the magenta, as always. And then I only turn down the sharpness, just because I think it's not good on Instagram. It just doesn't make the color so nice. So here you can see the difference, the before and the after, and as you can see, I completely shut out the blue and turned it into a way lighter image, and you can see that also the details and the contrast look so much better than it did before. You can see the final result on my Instagram. I always over edit my pictures with VSCO, just because they look different on my laptop than they look on Instagram, but as you can see, it fits really well into my profile, and my whole feed is this warm orangey tone. Please give it a thumbs up.